I've had some issues with my computer, so I can't upload some of the videos that I've got on Twitch to YouTube yet. So I thought I'd do this one just so I can upload something on here. So this afternoon I've been doing a lot of practicing with Deathslinger and doing some warm-ups with him. So I just wanted to go over a build and my playstyle that I use with him, which I think makes him quite effective. So this is a standard build that you can use on all killers. I especially use it on Huntress, but with Pop instead of Sloppy. So what I've got is his nurses combined with Sloppy, which is really good for juggling survivors, catching survivors off guard, and keep diverting your chases because it takes them a while to mend. And then you've got nurses to reveal them mending, which is more of a range than I believe Deathslinger's terror radius. So they're gonna unsuspectingly catch you while they're healing. And then I've got Ruin and Surveillance, which is really good for a start game because it acts similar to a Discordance. So basically, as you start the match, you want to patrol the gens, get close enough to get survivors to come off any gens, and then you'll see it highlighted and it's going to start regressing so that you don't need to break the generator sometimes and whatnot. So I'll just go over some steps throughout this gameplay just to show how I play Deathslinger anyway. I don't think he's the strongest killer at all. He's probably one of the weakest killers on the game in my opinion. A lot of people compare him to Huntress, but even though they both got missiles, you know, projectiles, they're played quite differently. You know, I think there's a lot more flaws with Deathslinger, whereas Huntress is quite a beast. He can get away with quite a lot of situations with a lot of loops, pallets, windows, as well as out in the open and distance. Deathslinger is close range, you know, because he can't shoot from a very far distance. I think it only goes up to 15 to 20 meters, something like that, which isn't that far. You can't pressure a whole map with his power, but you can put a lot of pressure on chases. So I don't know how this game's going to play out. Hopefully it'll go in my favour. I'll do the best I can to at least show how I use him anyway, and you know, the way I play him to make him effective. Because he's a killer that you don't see very often anymore. A lot of killer mains, you know, tried him, enjoyed him at first, and then as soon as survivors started to find counters to him and see his weaknesses, he's become really weak. So it won't surprise me if they do a retouch on him, rework on him. Maybe not even a huge rework, maybe just a few changes. Like, I feel like he'd be a lot stronger if he could break pallets with his gun. I think, you know, I think that would be a good start to making him a bit more effective. And maybe that he doesn't have to reload his gun, so that he doesn't have as much punishment, which can really open the distance. Alright, so now that we're in game, I'm going to patrol generators around the map. I know that they've just come off this generator, so they've started it. They're probably thinking, where's Ruin? There's one person walking up there. The only thing up there is an exit down here, so she's going to jump down. However, I've got this person instead. So she's still probably up there, will walk back. Right, he's got... I try to avoid too many loops where there's pallets because he's weak when a pallet is dropped. Right, survivor scratch marks. They're probably right, so I've got two people healing here, one person up there. I'm going to concentrate on these first. Try and juggle about a bit. No point shooting there, no point going for that. It's going to loot me well. So I'm going to put pressure on this guy. He's come off the gen. Open up the loop so I've got a bit more. I'm going to open this building. I feel like they're going to put a lot of pressure on it, on the chasers. Right, so I'm going to try coming round. Right, keeping the pressure on the drens, trying to make the most out of surveillance and ruin. Jump. Okay, leave him for a minute. See how I'm constantly juggling. I want to make the most out of ruin. So there's a girl over there. I've got two over here. So now I'm going to use a gun just to win her up. But I want to get in the corner to at least confuse her which side I'm going to go to. See, I've got coverage of that side and this side. So she's going to reload the gun. Right, so I heard her over here, so she's likely to be around here. That gen's being worked on again. So I'm going to pressure that gen again. And there's two people on it. So the other survivor's probably linked around there. So I'm going to come round here. Just in case I caught him. He's back on it. No. Alright, he's got away. Right, I want to concentrate on getting a hook now. A lot of work just for one hook, I know, but it's really good to get information on all the survivors and to put pressure on them all. So he's gone back on that gen. I knew that there were two people around here, so I'll let that far gen get finished. Jump down? No. No, she has. Sprint burst. Bluff the aim sight. Just gonna come for that pallet. Good read. Right, leave her now. I want to keep maintaining the pressure. Alright, so I just hooked him. So I want to get her this time. I'll come round this way. I'm forced to break the pallet now. Just didn't jump it. Good read. Pretty strong survivors, these. Fair play. Try and open up some loops. Alright, so he's getting pretty close to that ruin. He's working on it. Okay. I've opened up some of these loops, so I'm not too worried about this area now. I've got 3 people injured. I've still got ruin and surveillance, which is really important. I can... jump down here. Get this pallet out of the way now. This is probably the strongest part of the map, I'd say, this bit. So if I can open all that, get it all ready. You see how I'm just constantly juggling. I'm not sure if I can get it. Can I bring them down? Yeah, that's a strong pallet. I'm trying to avoid those loops. Alright, 2 people over here. I'll rather concentrate on them. Okay, second down. Alright, so I know there's 2 people on that far gen, so I'll bring the hut closer to them. Up to now 2 hucks, 1 gen done. Now they've got the ruin. Now I'm in trouble because they're pushing through these gens and I haven't got any information anymore. So I was hoping that would last a bit longer, but I've got it juice. Missed it. That pallet's gone. Right, she's going to be dancing around there. Open up the loops. I can't do anything at the windows. And that loop, pallet's broken now. Right, I might have time to hook her. Okay, she's probably going to finish up gen. Might have time. Alright, she's using this loop now. Jump over the window. Now she's jumping it. Break this pallet. Alright, someone there. That's a really strong pallet. Okay, next hook. These gens are starting to pressure me a lot now. So I've got to do some catch up. Person here. Okay, someone up there. She's healed up, let's get her injured. Balance landing. Okay, he's in the open now. And there's someone on that gen. I'm not sure if this is the same person that I hooked. Maybe decisive. Nope. Alright, so there's 2 people on the last hook. I think everyone's been hooked now. Both going for the save. Someone's gone back on the gen. I'll rather pressure the gen. Gone back up there. No. Try and get out of line of sight. Confuse her. Gonna go over the pallet straight back. Alright, 1 gen left. They were smashing through these gens, fair play. This is where Deathslinger has a big issue. He's not usually very good around those kind of pallets. You know. So up to now I've got 2, 4, 5, 6 or 7 hooks. Maybe this is my 7th and 8th. 3 people on the last hook, so just so you know as well, I don't play by how many people I necessarily kill, it's how many hooks I get. That's how I play the game. I find it a lot more of a challenge trying to get 12 hooks. Alright, he's got a strong loop there. He should have used it really. Okay, he's got the shack. Okay. These are pretty strong survivors as well. Earlier on my Twitch, I didn't have survivors this strong, so I'm actually kind of happy. Maybe 2k. Yeah, nothing he can do at these. And now that bug is happening, so he's gone behind me. Left the dead hard. He's got a few pallets here. This is where Deathslinger is at his weakest. Okay. Two kills. These guys. Scratch marks. What are those scratch marks leading to? I'll be anyway. Alright, GG. I mean, at least it gives you an idea, my playstyle with Deathslinger and what seems to work. So the aim sight is really good for bluffing. That's his strength, I'd say, like how you do with Demogorgon and Huntress when you're winding up the hatchets and bluffing a throw to get survivors to be constantly looking back at you. The perks and add-ons that I've used, I find are pretty effective. Look, there's 3 rank 1s and a rank 2. Yeah, the add-ons that I've used for him is to have a faster reload speed, so increase your reload speed, and also reduce the cooldown for your missed hits, because you're likely to get a lot of missed hits and whatnot. So this helps to reduce the punishment that Deathslinger gets from his power, because it is really punishing if you miss your shots and if you're having to constantly wind up and reload your gun again to get ready. So this is what seems to help me anyway. So anyhow, they're a really good team, so that was a really good example of, you know, what I do and how it works. Ruin kept me going for a while there. Wish I had it for a bit longer. Sometimes I'm thinking whether I should swap Sloppy for Pop instead, so then after that room was broken I would have had a bit more pressure on the gens, but at the end I had no pressure on the aggression really. I could only just juggle between them and keep hitting them. But anyhow, thank you if you've watched this video. I'm going to be streaming tonight at 6 o'clock. Feel free to come join my stream. Please give us a follow if you like my content, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.